Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this episode. This money is helping us purchase materials for Duracell this month.
My name is Matt. Follow along as I turn Duracell, the legendary ocean racing sailboat, into a comfortable cruising home. Recently, I got a question asking if we had found any problems with the boat, like things like delamination or rot or anything like that. When we got the boat, we had it surveyed, and there was actually 2 surveyors, and they went over the whole boat, tapping it out and with their moisture meter. And there were a few spots they found, and I did some core samples and stuff. Oh yeah, see? This is like what I'm hoping for. Super dry. It's awesome. It's in good shape. We found no water inside the hull as far as inside the sandwich core construction. But last week, I was taking this winch off the deck, pulled it off, and found that there was balsa. There was a balsa core in here.
Balsa is wood?
Balsa is balsa wood, yep. And I had been told that this boat was made entirely of foam core. And so I was surprised to find balsa in here. And it's rotten as well. So the bolts that were through the deck were leaking and had rotted the balsa. We know that this boat has been through some repairs and modifications. For instance, when they first launched the boat, it was sponsored by Duracell, so they painted the deck a copper color because it was the copper top. And when they took it out sailing in the sun, the deck basically melted and it got all wavy, and this is what Roger Martin told me. And so they had to bring the boat back in to get the deck repaired. This is before the first Vendée Globe or anything like that. Between the Vendée Globe and the BOC, which there was only like 6 months or something between those 2 races, the boat was refit and the mast was moved, the keel was modified, I think the chain plates may have been moved. And so this area the deck hardware may have been adjusted between those 2 races, and that may include installing some new core in places. So we don't know. But in any case, I found some rotten core, some rotten balsa in the deck right here. I need to do some exploratory cutting to see how far it goes. We haven't found any soft spots or anything like that, so I don't think it'll go very far, but...
Can you explain what you mean, like we haven't found any soft spots? How would you know?
When you're walking around the deck, you can feel when the deck is rotten because it's squishy. The balsa becomes so saturated with water, and then the balsa rots and it becomes, mush basically. And when you step on the deck right there, the deck just compresses.
So there's no soft spots on the deck?
I have never felt any walking around it. So I'm hoping that continues to be the case.
So you're feeling optimistic, it's just very localized rot?
Yeah, you can see that this is like kind of a raised area where this winch was. This winch was raised for halyards and stuff. There's also a stringer, like a deck beam underneath this winch. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see a little bit more about how the boat was made, cutting it up.
Dig in.
Yep, let's dig in.
Yeah, you can see the rotten wood.
Yeah, it's wet.
Oh, it's actually wet. Yeah, it is.
Obviously I've cut the deck off here and it's full of balsa, wet balsa. What I'm going to do is dig outboard as far as I can until I can find foam, and if I can't if I can't dig far enough, then I'll have to start cutting out concentric circles of the deck and hopefully find foam eventually.
So everybody cross your fingers that we find foam sooner rather than later.
Yep. Foam.
Yay!
Yep. We gotta do more though. Yep. Foam. Yeah, you can see it's just a pretty local spot of balsa. And I don't know why they would have used balsa there. It looks like what they did is they laminated 4 layers of just 1/2-inch balsa right there together. So I don't know, maybe this was a late addition and they were trying to save money by using balsa. Yeah, or repair or something. I'm not sure. This is also, like I said, where there's a deck stringer. So,
but good news.
Excellent news.
Yes.
Yep.
So now you have to just repair that really small area.
I gotta take the deck off to where the foam ends, or where the balsa ends, and then dig out all the bad core, replace it with foam, and laminate over it again. So yes, repair.
More lamination? This fall, I've been working on our website, and as you know, we're really glad to be using Squarespace. When adding content to your website, there's a selection of customizable galleries to choose from. The customizable gallery made it easy and fun for us to add photos of our project. Voila! You can head to squarespace.com for a free trial. When you're ready, go to squarespace.com/the Duracell project for 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Why are there holes in the foam?
Well, I'm gonna vacuum bag it down, and that way the air can escape out from underneath it.
What did you just do? What did you just adjust?
I just opened it up just a little bit to let more air in, so it's not such a tight vacuum, so I can pull these wrinkles out a little bit better. These are the ballast tanks. There were 3 on each side, plus 1 in the bow. One side of the boat held 3.4 metric tons of water, or about 900 gallons. They were filled by an intake on the leading edge of the keel when the boat was going fast. When the boat heels from the force of the wind on the sails, on most sailboats, the keel, which weighs 5 tons on Duracell, counteracts the heeling force to keep the boat upright. Duracell was designed to race in the Southern Ocean where conditions are much windier. So as Breeze built, a ballast tank could be filled to supplement the keel and to help keep the boat upright against the wind. Now we will not be using the boat in the same way. We will be cruising, not racing, looking for more favorable wind conditions. But we do need freshwater storage on board for drinking and cleaning, so we are going to cut down the ballast tanks to about 1/3 their size and use them as fresh water. We will carry about 300 gallons per side and only fill them halfway. And if we need to use them as ballast, we will be able to move that water from one side to the other. This will give us room to build cabinetry and seating on the interior. It's very hard to know where to begin. That was way less dramatic than I expected it to be. Rat poop and seawater. Salt. The shape of the new ballast tank will be something like this, where it goes straight across there, in this area, so that will about be the shape of the new ballast tank when I'm done with them. And then in this area that will get filled in, that's all cabinetry, like drawers and stuff to, storage space basically. This new ballast tank shape will be built out of the parts that I cut out right now. from the old ballast tanks. We have a few more Patreons to thank this week. Thank you again so much to everybody who has been helping support our project. It's just mind-blowing to us that people are interested in what we're doing and helping so much. It's making this project happen. So first, thank you to Martin, who's in the Netherlands. He used to sail these crazy old boats called Chalk, and on the Ismir, and they are these really awesome old Dutch gaff-rigged barges, sailing barges with lee boards. I think it was because they often sailed in really shallow waters, and so here's a picture. So thank you very, very much to Martin. And then also thank you to Josh, who is in LA. He's a charter captain in LA. He actually grew up in North Texas, not around water, similar to like I grew up in Idaho and had a calling for the water. And so he made his way out to LA and now runs charter boats and is currently fixing up this really cool old 1965 tartan Blackwatch, which it's a yawl, and he's planning to go cruising. So thank you very much to Josh. And also thank you to Brad and Evan, who we haven't heard from yet. So thank you again so much to everybody. If you're interested in joining our Patreon community, you can find us on patreon.com/the Duracell Project. So see you again next week.